Hey, what's up, YouTube Boxing family? It's K-Rod here. I'm back with another video for y'all today. I was gonna talk about this situation here with Alberto Puello versus Batyr Ahkmedov. Um, I was going to basically talk about this fight a bit more because I wasn't able to cover this on my live stream. But I figure this will probably make a good controversy for the game, for the fight itself. I personally thought Alberto Puello did not win his fight against Batyr Ahkmedov. I think Ahkmedov, he's a good fighter. I thought he arguably won the fight. He's a very, very good fighter out of the Uzbekistani region in boxing. Last time he's ever competed for a world title, in which this was a world title fight. This was his second opportunity to get to a world title. He had, unfortunately lost a very controversial decision to Mario Barrios at 140 when Mario Barrios picked up the WBA regular title. In which, surprisingly, Mario Barrios, at that time frame, this is for the WBA super lightweight title vacancy. So I don't know how, the WBA didn't, mandate Barrios and Josh Taylor to fight each other, or at least Regis Prograis, because if I'm not mistaken, Mario Barrios, he was a champion and he should have been able to move forward with his title, but I guess at that time frame he he was just considered the regular champion, which made no sense whatsoever. But Mario Barrios, he should have won the title. Well, he shouldn't have won that title, in my honest opinion. He should have been able to lose that opportunity, or he should have lost that fight and he should have worked his way back up to get a world title opportunity. For Batyr Ahkmedov's case, he hasn't been able to keep himself extremely active in boxing. He's been kind of frozen out, piece by piece. Not to the highest level degree of which whatchamacallit, where Ahkmedov, he wasn't able to stay active. But the thing is that between his career and the opponents that he's fought leading up to Puello, he was only active during COVID once against Ray Perez. He knocked him out in one round, and then leading forward to the next fight, which was on the Gervonta Tank Davis, undercard, he knocked out Argenis Mendez, where he stopped him. He forced him to quit, in the corner. So, I mean, either way, Batyr Ahkmedov, he should have been able to be given his opportunity a lot sooner, with a world title. But knowing that this fight with Puello pretty much explains how the WBA, actually politically chooses certain fighters to be, crowned as a champion, for their sanctioning body. I just find this to be really evil and very disgusting. In terms of this fight, if you go back and watch this fight, Batyr Ahkmedov definitely put in a lot of work in the middle and late rounds, in which I thought he had done enough to win the fight. I didn't really see Puello really win that many rounds. I only really gave him 5 rounds out of the out of the whole 12. So I mean, it was a decent close fight, but I at best I would give Batyr 7 rounds to 5 or 8 rounds to 4. So I wasn't really thinking Puello was really doing that much to actually win the fight. I thought Batyr was the more active, the more accurate, and the more aggressive fighter, landing his shots a lot more viciously. And I didn't really see much from Puello's, defense that really showed me enough separation in that fight for me to say, wow, Alberto Puello is that good of a fighter, and he's going to be, doing some damage at 140. I don't think so. I think Alberto Puello, he's a target at 140. He's food for the division, and I think Batyr Ahkmedov should deserve a rematch for this title fight, because this is technically for the WBA, world title. So it's not like, they're gonna become like a regular champion. This is to become the champion of that sanctioned body. So, knowing that it was for like a vacancy, I just think it would be fair if they could actually make a rematch, between them, and then, Puello, he could move forward, being the champion, because I don't think him being crowned champion really makes him like a certified fighter. I really don't see him to be that good of a fighter until he makes his very first official title defense. So I think that's what Puello needs to understand. I will give credit where credit is due. He did come to fight, but he did not do enough to win this fight, and he looked very, very shaky, with his fighting abilities. And Batyr Ahkmedov looked like he knew what he was doing to win the fight. Like, compared to the Hector Garcia and the Roger Gutierrez fight, we can obviously tell that Hector Garcia created enough separation in his skill set to become the victor of that fight. So I just think, based off of what we've been seeing lately from the evolution of the Dominican fighting skill set, is that the more purist boxers of Dominican fighters, they usually tend to do a lot better in their careers. But let the bona fide like semi-boxer puncher fighters, they don't really end up doing well. And I mean, every fighter is different. I don't think the skill level of the Dominican Republic boxing competition is getting any better. I don't think Dominican fighters are like, at the very, very top. Credit to, Hector Garcia becoming a champion at 130 by defeating Roger Gutierrez. But I just don't see Alberto Puello, remaining to be champion for that much, longer. I don't think his longevity at the world title level will scale. And I like to see him in there with all the names. I think guys like Subriel Matias would, defeat him. I think Gary Antoine Russell would walk right through him. I think definitely Jose Zepeda, Regis Prograis, those are very, very good fights, down the line. That's going to be a very, very good hyper-scaled match. But just looking at the level of opposition and the adaptivity or the, like, I guess like the adaptive skill set that a lot of these top 30, well, I want to say top 30, top 25 and top 50 fighters have, is that they know how to like adjust, within the fight to make themselves good enough to win a fight. And I think based off of Alberto Puello's, fighting style, his style is very tailor-made to get knocked out by somebody that's not afraid to press, the action and take away his best, opportunities of what he can do best. He's not that much of a knockout puncher. Alberto Puello, he's more of a decent mid-range, inside pure boxer, if you will. His fighting style doesn't really favor himself to be that very successful on the inside. I think Alberto Puello is very vulnerable to the point where if you hit him good to his chin, he can easily break down and definitely, start, fading, late game, to a very heavy shot. I think his gas tank is not really the best, but if you start applying pressure to his body more, I think Puello, he could very well get stopped. It's just only like a matter of time where we get to see him in there with some heavy loaded names. And I think eventually Alberto Puello, he's definitely going to get hyper tested to the point where, we're going to start seeing him in there with like all the high level opposition. I think like the only biggest names that I can easily see him get defeated by is Gary Antoine Russell, Subriel Matias, Regis Prograis possibly. I think Puello would possibly lose to Josh Taylor on points. I don't think Josh Taylor is gonna have the ability to stop him. I think Puello, he would be good in that department. Maybe Jack Catterall. He could possibly be Jack Catterall. I'm not too high on Jack Catterall as a fighter, but he's a decent opposition fighter. So I think based off of what we will see out of Alberto Puello's development as a fighter is just that we need to see more tools out of his tool bag where he could be able to display the high level of skill and talent of what he could do. And I think now that he's a world champion, quote unquote, I think it's going to be interesting to see what the WBA is going to start doing with his career, because the WBA, they have a lot of movement to work on. And if we do look at the WBA 140-pound rankings, the rankings are pretty much clear as day to show that I believe Regis Prograis is in position for it, or I forgot who, but at the super lightweight division, here we go. We got Batyr Ahkmedov going up against Alberto Puello. So the winner of this fight to become the champion, i.e. Alberto Puello, he would probably end up facing Ismael Barroso or O'Hara Davies or Sandor Martin. I think either way, Ismael Barroso and O'Hara Davies, they're gonna probably fight it out, and then the winner of that fight will become the mandatory for that position. But Gary Antoine Russell, he's gonna he's gonna climb up pretty fast. I think he should go after Teofimo Lopez or beat up on Shakram Giyasov. I think he could beat his ass, but other than that, that's pretty much it. I also heard that Josh Taylor could have vacated his IBF belt, so who knows, man? There's going to be a lot of explaining to do of what's going to happen at 140, and there's only so much more competition coming in the way, so I think what's happening right now is just that there's just so much movement in the division that we're going to start seeing these guys light it up pretty soon. And 2023, heading into that new year is going to be very interesting to see how 140 shapes up leading into 147. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make a quick video on Mr. Alberto Puello. Let me know what you guys think about him. Do you think he's going to be a certified fighter at 140, being the champion at the WBA? Or do you think he will end up being destroyed by future level opponents, as you see here in the rankings? And yeah, let me know, man. But that's pretty much it, man. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day, and more videos on the way. Peace out. Goodbye.